Welcome back to Grace Walk Farm. Today we're going to talk about stress. Now, stress can do some crazy things to the body. In fact, for a lot of people, they don't even know they're stressed, and I'm one of those. If you were to ask me on any given day, Amber, are you stressed today? 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, no, not really, I'm good. But in fact, my body would tell you a different story, because for me, I don't feel stress necessarily as a physical emotion. Instead, I feel it in my body with a nervous stomach, tense shoulders, a headache. I tend to not notice my stress until it has been there for so long that it's taking a toll on the body. Now, can stress really impact our bodies that much? Yes, and here's why. We see in the Bible that people are made of 3 parts: body, soul, and spirit. And anything that affects any of those 3 parts affects all 3 parts. So you can think of it kind of like a tree. A tree has roots, it has the trunk, and then it has the branches and the leaves. Now, if you were to go and cut the roots, would it affect the trunk and the leaves? Of course it would, because the roots are how they receive their nutrition. If you were to take an axe and you were to cut a big old chunk out of the trunk of that tree, would that affect the roots and the leaves? Of course it would. What if you just cut all the leaves off the top? Would that affect the trunk and the roots? Definitely. It's interconnected, and our bodies are the same way. So whether it's something impacting you mentally or spiritually or emotionally, your body will keep the score and will have a very physical response. So when stress builds up for a long time, our bodies can do really weird things. Our nervous systems can get stuck in fight or flight. We can start making too much cortisol, which leads to weight gain and insomnia and all kinds of problems. We can develop things like shingles, where you get this terrible painful rash, and it's brought on by stress reactivating the virus from chickenpox when you were a kid. Stress can do crazy things. It can cause panic attacks. It can lead to long-term anxiety. And so it's important that we learn to manage our stress. And so recently, I have been working on a brand new tea blend for stress. And I designed this blend for a friend of mine who called me up, and she was like, I need a blend specifically for a teenager. And it needs to be something that isn't going to make her too sleepy, but it needs to be something that helps her be calm and focused when she goes to school, while also helping with stress. And so we did some experiments, tried a few different things, and this is the blend that we landed on. And I call this stress support blend. It just supports the body when you're in a season of stress. And this blend worked so well for my friend and for her teenager that I gave it to another friend and I asked her to give it a try. And so she drank it for 2 weeks straight, and she reported back that it made a tremendous difference, and she asked for a refill. So we have added this blend to our shop, Stress Support Tea. You can grab a bag at herbswithgrace.com, but I always want to show you how to make it. So if you're growing your herbs, you can just make this at home without having to buy anything. Now, if you don't have an herb garden or you don't feel comfortable mixing your own, that's okay. You can buy one from my shop, and you'll be supporting my little family and my small business, and we appreciate you. But I also want you to feel empowered to make everything I teach yourself. I don't want you to be dependent on waiting on me to get remedies you need. So I want to teach you to make this. And by the way, this is one of the remedies and recipes that I will be teaching in Daughters of Eve in our herbalism school that is opening this fall. In fact, the students who enroll at Daughters and Eve are going to get access to all of my recipes. I have just literally opened up my little brain and heart and poured it all into this school. And so you will have access to all my recipes, quick, easy downloads in Daughters of Eve. And the wait list is open for that. You can find details on that in the description. School opens October 5th, but we have a wait list open where you can go ahead and get on the email list. And if you are on the wait list, you're going to get a $500 discount on tuition, which is huge. So make sure you're on the wait list. I'll link it below. But for now, I want to teach you how to make the stress support tea blend in case you or someone in your house is feeling stressed. And now this blend is safe and it's perfectly fine to use with children, but, and this is a great big disclaimer, this is not medical advice, and you need to always, always, always check with your healthcare provider before starting herbs, especially if you are on any prescription medications, because things can interact. And so I always give that disclaimer, but today we're working with pretty gentle herbs, and these are herbs that I do not hesitate to share with children, and they tend to work quite well, and they taste good too. So let's get into the recipe. Let's make some tea. So it's such a beautiful day outside. I thought we would just come outside and make this tea today. I am just loving my porch. We are finally starting to see the temperatures cool down. I call it fake fall because it's going to get hot again. Here in North Carolina, we won't really get cool temperatures till like November. But I take fake fall anytime I can get it. And it is like a nice, I don't know, maybe like 75, 80 degrees out here. It's nice. So first we're going to put on gloves so that we're working with clean hands. Now, I've been outside foraging this morning. I did go in and wash my hands, but I am going to mix this with gloves because I'm going to be sharing the batch we make today with my friend. I'm going to bag it up and I'm going to give it to her because she wanted another bag of this. So we already have some pre-mixed too that Josh and Walker helped me make in the tea shop earlier, so we can ship these out to you. I think we have around 100 bags in stock. So herbswithgrace.com, and you're looking for stress support tea. That's the one we're making today. Okay, so our first ingredient. Anytime I think of stress, I'm curious if some of my friends who watch all the videos, if you're already going to know what this ingredient is. My first ingredient is an adaptogen herb. Now, adaptogen herbs are balancing herbs. Whether your body is too high or too low, it brings you back into balance. And so when it comes to adaptogens, there's lots of them. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen, and it's a popular one, but my favorite is Tulsi or holy basil because it's a very gentle adaptogen. So in this recipe, we have 5 ingredients. We're going to use 5 herbs, and we're using equal parts of each herb. So whether, if you want to make a big batch, you could add 2 cups of each herb. If you want to make a little batch, you could add a tablespoon of each herb, but equal parts. We're going to use, I went ahead since we were mixing this outside and jarred my ingredients up in these little jam jars. So this is Tulsi. Oh, it smells so good. I could literally just drink Tulsi tea every day. And the great thing about Tulsi is it not only helps your body deal with stress in the immediate, but it trains your body to be more resilient in future stressful events. So it actually helps improve long-term how you manage your stress, which is wonderful. So we're going to dump that straight on in. I would say each of these is probably, I don't know, like half a cup maybe. So I'm doing half cup portions. So we'll start with laying down a layer of Tulsi. I'm using my great big mixing bowl here. I always mix in a wooden bowl, and my daughter bought me this bowl for Christmas, and it is my favorite mixing bowl. I always reach for this one. Okay, our second ingredient. Also, we use this commonly in a lot of recipes, so this one probably won't surprise you. And this one is lemon balm. Now, lemon balm is a nervine herb, meaning it works on the nervous system. So if you deal with nervousness when you're stressed, lemon balm is going to be your friend. Lemon balm also helps as an antiviral herb. And this time of year, especially with school starting back and new germs are starting to come home, we're getting ready to go into cold and flu season. Anytime I can add a layer of antiviral benefits to any tea I'm making, I think that's a win. So we're going to add lemon balm next. You want to see? It smells really good. It has just the faintest lemon scent. It's not a strong lemon scent, but just a little bit of a lemon hint to it. It's very earthy. I love the taste of lemon balm. So we'll go ahead and mix the Tulsi and lemon balm. Just give them a quick stir. Now this combo right here, if you would just do a mix of Tulsi and lemon balm, I call this Happy Josh. My husband's name is Josh. And last summer he came on and he actually did a video with me where he shared about how these two herbs combined just really helped him with mood support. And over the last year, we've continued to work with him on herbs, but he still loves this combo. And so when you guys put an order in and it's 1 bag of Tulsi and 1 bag of lemon balm, we actually write your order slip as Happy Josh. We'll say, this person wants Happy Josh. So it's a great combo. Even if you only have Tulsi and lemon balm, this one will be a good start for mood support. And it's also good for stress. But we're not done. We've got some more players to add to this little party. And our third ingredient is going to be chamomile. Let me show you. I love chamomile because number one, it smells and tastes delicious. So especially for a blend like stress support that is likely going to be shared with children, it helps if it tastes good. And to me, chamomile has the faintest hint of like an apple flavor. And so when you smell it for the first time, or if you haven't smelled it recently, think about apples. And you're going to connect it. Like your brain's going to be like, wait, yeah, it does smell like apples. Or like apple blossoms, apple trees. And fun fact, the word chamomile in Greek was actually translated earth apple. They named it after that apple smell. So this is chamomile. I'm using flowers for this one. For the lemon balm and Tulsi, we used leaves. This is chamomile flowers. So we're going to add those in. Now, apart from just adding good flavor and aroma, chamomile also brings a lot of benefits. Chamomile is very calming. Now, it's not a heavily sedating herb, so it's one that, like, I don't think your kid's going to get sleepy if they're drinking this blend, because the adaptogens in it are going to also kind of help balance that out. But chamomile can help young children get ready for bedtime. But I find that it's just, if you add just a little, it just adds a little bit of calm. And if you've got, if you're a person who's nervous, or if you've got a kid who's nervous, sometimes that little hint of chamomile can really, really make a difference. Okay, so here we go. This is what we got so far. We got lemon balm, Tulsi, and chamomile. All right, we have 2 more ingredients. Now, these 2 really bring some powerful medicinal benefits to this blend. The first is skullcap. Now, skullcap, we are using skullcap leaf here. Skullcap is an herb I reach for most often when I'm thinking of anything neurological or brain. The flowers of a skullcap plant actually look a bit like a little helmet, which is a clue for us if we look through traditional herbalism. We look for little clues like that maybe this could help with the head or with brain. And in fact, it does. Skullcap is really wonderful for racing thoughts. If you are a person who tends to like get in your own head a lot, like if you're super introverted and then you get stressed out, so you turn inward and your inner voice gets really loud, skullcap may be your favorite herb that you ever try. It is wonderful. I find that this one is super supportive, especially for people with obsessive compulsive disorder or any kind of looping thought patterns, anxiety. So we're going to add skullcap to tackle the mental aspect of stress. And we'll give that a mix. So we've done Tulsi, lemon balm, chamomile, and skullcap, all equal parts. Now we're going to add our final ingredient. And this one's fun. So for our final ingredient, we are going to add butterfly pea. Now we're going to use butterfly pea flowers, which you'll notice are this beautiful, almost purple. They're like bluish purple. And I have shown you a bit about butterfly pea before. I did a video about it earlier this year, sharing a bit about its color changing properties. So when you add butterfly pea to a tea, your tea is going to brew blue or sort of violet, like a purpley blue. But when you add lemon juice or citrus to this tea, it will turn pink. So this tea will actually kind of change colors for your kids if you add lemon juice, which makes it really cool and a fun science experiment. But butterfly pea actually does some really good things because it calms anxiety. And it's not a sedative herb, like it's not going to make you sleepy, but it can calm you down. For me, when I am anxious, I tend to get the trembles. I'll get shaky. I don't know. You guys might have even picked up on it when I'm holding the camera at times, if it's a little trembly. For me, that's part of when I'm a little nervous. I get a little trembly. And I have found butterfly pea flower stops the shakes for me. Now, everybody's different. For you, it might be a different plant that will make that difference. But that helps a lot for me. And so I included this one. And it turned out that the blue color and the flavor, this tastes really nice too. It's a little sweet, a little floral. The color and the flavor from the butterfly pea is ultimately what helps the teenager that I made this blend for fall in love with it. She just loved the color of it. And the color change is just extra fun too. But it just makes this a little bit more fun to have a colorful tea. And when you brew this and you're drinking it, people are going to be like, what are you drinking? You could drink it cold. You could drink this one warm. I've tried it both ways. I think it's equally delicious. If I had to choose, I would probably say I like this one best cold. I've just really been into iced herbal teas lately. It's just been my thing. But it's also summer here, and you know, we're not really wanting to drink hot drinks when it's hot outside. But come fall, y'all, I got some recipes to share with you. I've been trying to work up a new chai recipe. I'm going to add a chai to the shop this fall. I've been thinking about some fun recipes for the holidays with cranberry. So I got lots of ideas. We're going to do some fun holiday teas this year. But right now, for our stress support, we're good and mixed. And let me show you what this looks like. It's beautiful. So this is a very pretty tea. And the butterfly pea flower, I really think just kind of makes it even prettier. I'll hold up a little so you can see. This is a beautiful tea. And then to make a cup of this tea, you just take a teaspoon, it's a teaspoon per 8 ounces of water. But here's the thing, most mugs are not 8 ounces. Most big coffee mugs anymore are more like 12 to 16 ounces. So you could use a tablespoon. A lot of times people get really hung up on how to make a cup of tea. Like, how much herb should I be using to water, the herb to water ratio? And I would ask you, how do you make your coffee? How much coffee per water do you use? Use the same amount of loose leaf tea as you would coffee grounds if you've been a coffee drinker your whole life, because the way you make coffee is real similar to the way you make a loose leaf tea. So if you know how to make coffee, you know how to make tea. You can make tea through like a drip coffee maker. Now, it's not as strong. Personally, that's not my favorite way to do it. I much prefer to use like a French press. You could do a percolator. You can even just get an infuser cup. There are tons of options. Look up tea infusers online and you can find a lot of different options to choose from. But Stress Support Blend is a wonderful one to learn and know, especially with it being back to school time, holidays around the corner. If you tend to get stressed during either of those times of year, this is one that you want to know. So now you have the recipe. You can make it yourself at home. We offer all of these ingredients in our shop except for the skull cap. We do not offer skull cap because I do not grow big quantities of that one, and we haven't sourced that in big quantities yet. But you can buy all these other ingredients in our shop, or you can buy the full blend pre-made, and it will include the skull cap. It will have everything in it. So another thing I want to mention is, let's say that you love this tea idea, but you know that you don't respond well to lemon balm. Like maybe you have an allergy and you don't do lemon balm. So you can make this and substitute something else. Like, we know lemon balm is a nervine herb. So you could pick a different nervine herb to put in its place, or you could just leave the lemon balm out. Tea is personal, and it is always okay to change up the ingredients and the ratios. maybe one of these herbs works so well for you that you're like, oh, I want to do double lemon balm in my batch. You can do that too. There are no rules. This is your apothecary, your rules. You decide what you're going to do. I'm just sharing kind of the recipes and methods that I personally use. But I hope you'll try this recipe, sample it, make a cup, share a cup with someone. I think this tea in particular would make a wonderful gift. And so I'm already thinking for Christmas gifts. This may be something I include in gift baskets this holiday season. So you could keep that in mind. You could make a big old batch of this and then divide it up and give it as gifts. Or you could just buy a bag for each of your friends, however you prefer to do it. But stress support tea. Now you have the recipe. There's no reason to be stressed without support anymore. And I just want you to remember that, all of us go through seasons that are hard. The Bible even says in this world you will have trouble. Jesus told us to expect it. He said, they persecuted me. Don't be surprised when they persecute you. But when we go through hard seasons, whether it's spiritual warfare seasons, whether it's just a hard emotional season, maybe it's a life change season. This is my first year in like 15 years of not doing back to school as a homeschool mom. I finished homeschooling all of my babies. They've all graduated. Then I did an extra year of homeschooling for a nephew, and now he's gone back to school. And so this is my first year of not being a homeschool mom, which is probably why I've needed stress support tea, because it was a hard era to say goodbye to. But that's exactly why I wanted to talk today about managing stress and how to make this tea in case you're in your feelings and need a little support this week too. So give this one a try. Let me know in the comments what kind of tea recipes would you like us to make together next. I love hearing your ideas. I love hearing from you. And don't forget to get on the wait list for Daughters View School of Herbalism. We're getting really close to opening day, and I'll be sending details out by email really soon. So get on the wait list. All those details are waiting for you below. Have a wonderful week and no stress, y'all. See you next time.